Hello and a warm welcome to everyone joining us today. I'm your host Dalvinder Kaur from lovely Professional University. So let's dive into today's topic, decoding the path to success, understanding data science career opportunities. Before we proceed further, allow me to introduce the experts of the day. Ms. Savleen Kaur, Assistant Professor, School of Computer Science and Engineering, lovely Professional University. She inspires the students to explore AI's transformative power, passionate about bridging theory with the real world application. She actively mentors future data scientists and leads initiatives that harness AI for meaningful societal impact and more. So now I would like to introduce Mr. Manish Malik also in this webinar. Welcome, Mr. Manish Malik. His business intelligence and data analytics expert with 25 plus years of experience in driving growth across sales, marketing, operations, and IT at Airtel, Reliance Communications, Kelly Services, and more. Before we proceed further in today's session, I would like to request everyone for any questions you can write in the chat box or in the Q&A box, and same will be addressed from my side at the end of this webinar. Now I'm going to hand over this session to our experts, Ms. Savleen Kaur and Mr. Manish Malik, and it would be an absolute delight to listen from them. Over to you both.
Thank you, ma'am. Thanks for the kind introduction. Hi, folks. My name is Manish Malik, as been introduced by ma'am, and presently I'm heading the business development and partnerships at Transog Analytics. Prior to this, I had worked with Aircel as head of mobile advertising and analytics, where I was leading a team of multiple analysts, business analysts, data engineers, serving all the 22 circles we had. I am a computer science graduate with marketing background and have also done a diploma in Great Lakes and leadership program from Harvard. So before we start, I would like to quickly introduce about Transorg. So Transorg is in the analytics space from last 15 years when the analytics started in taking place in India. It is headed by a gentleman called Mr. Naveen Jain, who was analytics head at American Express. Presently, the company is with 15 plus years of experience with close to 120 scientists at this point, working with more than 500 clients, out of which 70 plus are global clients. So these are some marquee clients that we are working with, which is American Express, Axis Bank, Dabur, from BFSI space to FMCG to Tata Consumers to telecom, all across. But the question comes, what is data science? So data science is being used in our daily life. Except God, everybody is producing data. Like right from your getting up in the morning, picking up your mobile, we start generating data. So for example, the moment we deliver a food app, like in the food we are using, most of us are using a food delivery app, Zomato, Swiggy, Blinkit, the data starts generating. So we have placed an order, whatever it could be, burger, pizza, sandwich. How does it reach in next 10, 15, 20 minutes time? So what is happening behind the scenes? So first is the time prediction. You keep checking on your mobile screen that the order has been started, it has reached, prepared, picked by a delivery agent, on way, traffic, how much time to destination, expected time of arrival. There is a lot of data science being used behind it, right from tracking the time, the lat long of the coordinates, the latitude, longitude that defines where exactly the person is, the traffic data, the rider availability, and multiple data scientist techniques being used behind it. At the same time, when you place a next order, there is a recommendation that flows to you, which is in terms of basis your previous order, previous choice, and where again we are providing the data, which is in terms of our age, demography, location we stay in, the kind of mobile we are using. But end of the day, using the data science, what the impact we are creating is a faster delivery, a happy customer, more repeat orders. This is just an example. Another example is Amazon. Like everybody's been purchasing, e-commerce is at boom, right? You look at any of the, you in your service window, you search for any product, and next time you go, you see a similar product available in your cart or on your display window. What does it do? You use your browsing history, purchase history, products. It automatically recommends the person who purchased this product has also, purchased this. They offer a combination of products, the discount schemes, the combinations. Again, all is a data science. So there's a time series forecasting, predictive modeling being used out here. So to cut it short, the data science is being used everywhere. We can start from the e-commerce I just explained to you. In manufacturing, it is used for, preventive maintenance, that this machine is about to fail. There is a sensor data that comes from it. There is a maintenance schedule, the roster allocation, monitoring systems, uh, fraud detection in banking, credit risk modeling, customer lifetime value. Just excuse me, sorry. The healthcare, we have a medical image analysis. Now, if you remember the COVID time, just by looking at the the x-rays, the people were able to diagnose whether the person is COVID infected or not. Transportation, in terms of optimizing the transport route, like how does a Google tell you, the Google Maps, that how much time will it take to reach there, what kind of traffic ahead. Again, it's all data science problems. In finance, risk analysis, should we give a loan to the person or not, what kind of loan, whether the person is eligible for this, what kind of the eligibility for the loans, the location he stays in, the salary he draws in. Lot many parameters are used before accessing yes or no. So what is data science? So data science, mathematical, if you look at the scientific approach being given to it, is a combination of maths plus statistics plus programming, business understanding. So if you look at the Venn diagram below, right, there's something called a mathematics, right? There is a computer science at the same time. There's a domain expertise. It's a combination of all three. You cannot say that the person who knows more mathematics will be a better data scientist, or the person who has more domain expertise will be a better scientist, or the person who knows modeling or programming better will be able to do it. It requires a blend of all three. You need to have understanding of what programs can be written, what it can deliver to you, what kind of solutions they can you can use. You need to have some basic statistical knowledge in terms of whether hypothesis testing, whether the information that is flowing, whether what are the outliers, what are the anomalies in data. And the key is the domain expertise. You need to understand how the entire process system, entire system, how it is going to. So for example, if you talk again about an e-commerce, the entire journey, right from the customer interaction at the mobile browsing screen or a desktop browsing screen, till he or she places the order in the cart and checks out, and then the delivery experience, there's a data science behind it. So now, in today's time, there is a lot of AI is being talked about, AI versus data science versus machine learning. So all the two parts, which is the AI and machine learning, are a subset of data science. Data science is a cohesive, a bigger ball, which has AI and the machine learning into it. So data science starts with right from where you're collecting the data, you prepare it, you analyze it, you clean the data, you decide whether I need to use an AI algorithm or a machine learning algorithm. Uh, what is the and keeping the end objective in mind. So again, continuing the discussion, the core disciplines are like, you need to have understanding of mathematics and statistics. You need to know programming, which is for, data handling, automation. There's a structured data, there is an unstructured data. The structured data is, which is flowing, where there is not much of a cleaning required. But if it is written, like somebody has given a feedback in a text format, that is an unstructured data that you need to convert it into a structure and then analyze it. The sentiment analytics, what we call it. what people have written about tweet or what they have written about a Facebook, that needs to be analyzed, and the sentiments have to be ascertained that this movie is going to do well or this movie is going to be bad, what people talk about a particular subject. The most important is the business acumen, right? Whether in terms of understanding what is good or bad for the organization, this kind of analysis, what will be the end result, how it is going to benefit us. Eh, you know Leaving the three parts of it, that the communication skills are very important in terms of explaining the story, because the most of the time when you will be presenting your data set or data to the people will not be interested what kind of algorithm has been used, but the complete stitching up the entire story and explaining the insights out of that data. So to start your journey, the prerequisites are your languages, which is Python or R. You need to understand the core discipline, how Python works, what are the data structures, what kind of models to be used into it, what kind of libraries are required. Visualization tool, which is how you're going to present your data. So you have inferred the data, you have understood it, you have brought insight outward, but unless until you present it to the right audience, it is just half job done. You need to have a strong understanding of probability and linear algebra, and most important is the business acumen and the problem solving approach. How so for example, customers are leaving, right? So you need to ask 10 times in terms of why they are leaving, what are the factors that are impacting it, what are the so when if you talk about the telecom environment, right? Why people leave? Is it because of the higher prices? Is it because of the poor customer service? Is it because of the poor network? Is it because of the bad pockets when I am driving? There are a lot of call drops, the data speed is not good. So you have to analyze all these factors and see what is the contribution of each of these factors, and then solve the problem and make a churn prediction model, that who are the customers who are likely to churn basis the pattern that is already available with us. You need to understand, you have to have strong knowledge of Python and then SQL. You need to understand the libraries like pandas, numpy, matplot for presentation, again analyzing the data. You need to have an understanding of Power BI or Tableau or Excel in terms of presenting a data visualization into it. Cloud, because the volume of data is so high today, you need to move the entire thing, may not be possible to calculate only on your laptop or computer, but you need to have a higher processing capability, which is cloud, Google Cloud or AWS or Azure. So what is the roadmap to build a data science career? When you begin your career, focus on the basics, work on the basic Python languages. Don't use chat gpt or some other generative AI tool, but focus in terms of solving the problems on your own. Start writing small codes on your own, see where the problems are, and then try to solve it on your own rather than being dependent on any other generative AI solution. Have a good understanding of statistics, linear algebra, SQL. Use SQL, which there are free tools available out there where you can, and then start presenting that data. So whatever data you have got, just start presenting it in terms of what information I can decipher out of it. And you can use multiple projects on the Kaggle datasets. There are multiple datasets available. You can download them, make some analysis out of it, and then present it. As you will progress your journey, you will get hands-on onto the machine learning algorithm. Do start doing the classification problems, regression models, prediction models, and there you will be using a lot of Python libraries. Get yourself familiarized with that. The vision model are available, the scikit library is available, and start building your GitHub profile. And then also start participating in the Kaggle competition, the hackathons. Improve your score out there. And as you progress further, then you will get into the deep learning in terms of AI solutions. Now that you have large language models coming up, so that is the way to build your careers. But just learning these tools may not be help. You need to have a curiosity. You need to understand, ask yourself why, how I am going to solve this problem. You need to have a, this problem is happening, how do I solve it? What are the major whys into it? How will come much later? What tools to use, what information is required to be done is separate. But what is more important is how, what is the problem? Understanding that why it is happening, and then look at the solutions that can help you solve the problem. A very, very key important for a good data scientist is the communication skills, wherein you make the technical problem sound like a business problem, make it understanding that, so there is a we are losing subscriber base, right? It could be for Amazon, it could be for a telecom company, it could be for a credit card company. We are losing subscriber base, a loose statement. We have lost 3%, x number of subscribers in last 3 months. Now it become a mathematical problem. What percentage of the total base we are losing, and then starts why we are losing, which are the factors that are impacting. Then you start building your story and present it. So the communication plays a very, very important role. Before you start your data science journey, please ensure that it's a lifelong learning. The kind of changes that have happened in last 2 years have not happened in last 15 years. And the changes that are going to happen in next 6 to 12 months in the AI field have not happened in the entire 20 years. So this is a very, very fast innovative learning, and you need to be on your toes. You have to keep learning. Collaboration is again very, very key in terms of uh, collaborating within the team members across the functional heads. There will be sponsors, there will be persons from whom you need to gather the information. People are not ready to give the information, you need to collaborate with them. And then you need to be extremely patient and resilience, because once you will run an algorithm, you will not going to get the output in first go. You have to, it's an iterative process. You will keep making models, keep refining it, and with each iteration you will get to have new insights. So somebody has very beautifully written that being a great data scientist is not just about writing code or building models. It's about thinking clearly, communicating well, solving the right problems, and always learning. So bigger question is, why join data science when there are so many things attached to it? And then that's where the statistics says it all. If you look at the this exponential curve you can see on the left hand side of the slide, right? The data growth. Everybody, like, as the marketing, the data is the new oil, because basis data you can take informed decision. Basis data you can decide what is going to happen next. When is the next earthquake going to come? Which are the factors that are impacting? There are global problems, there are organization related problems, there are self related problems. You can all solve by analyzing the data and bringing the insights out of it. And as you can see that the entire data that has been generated in last 5 years, from 2000, last 20 years, is far higher than that was generated in the first 20, 40 years, right? Like 1920 to 2000, if you look at it, the 80 years, there was hardly any data. But last 20 years, the data has grown multifold. And the way it has been, at present, it's going to be, exponential growth. So what is the data science evolution? Now, I, if you start with in the early 50s and 60s, people used to look at only the statistical techniques. And then as the computation cost started reducing, you have a lot of computing power, you have more storage power, then the business intelligence took over, the computer starting were introduced. And now we are talking, we have the mobiles are more powerful than the couple of laptops and the machines, and this is going to only grow. Now you have the chat GPTs and the generative AI is models available on your mobile screen. What are the top 10 trends you are going to see in 25? One is the rise of automated machine learning. So you understand the basics, but now there are tools available that can write code for you. But a key thing that is going to be in the form of data ethics and responsibility. So you have already seen, a lot of morphing available, the lot of videos being floating, which are, morphed and been created using the help of AI. So ethics and responsibility is one area that is going to grow very fast. Data democratization and self-service analytics, which means that now you need to just feed in the data, and the analysis will be performed by the AI agents. And now the real-time data analysis will happen, because as the cost of computing and the processing is reducing, uh, earlier used to be 3 days old, 4 days old data, 1 day old data, and now it is in the real time. You have the data and it is being analyzed in the real time. The moment the somebody has put information into the cart, a recommendation comes on the fly. Quantum computing in data science means that how fast computing is going to be there. Natural language processing, the NLP, is again doing the job out for there easy for us. The models are built based on the synthetic data now, and then the language is automatically finding it out. So you would have seen the Google's new has introduced a new chat video conferencing cost solution. So on the other hand, the person could be using a Chinese, and in the front somebody may be using a French, but they both are able to converse in real time. So new age, as I explained, it is more like chat GPT there, quantum computing is there, robotics is there, and it's just growing. The data scientist demand, right? If you this is this the on the right hand side, if you just type the LinkedIn, it was just as recent as yesterday. I just typed data science jobs in LinkedIn, and I was able to find 81,000 plus jobs, data scientist jobs in India. And this is just data scientists. When you talk about data engineers, business analysts, data analysts, this becomes multifold. So projected job market in 25 is around 11 million analytics jobs expected globally, and India is to contribute nearly 20% of that growth, which means roughly around 20 million, 2 million jobs, 20 lakh jobs are available at this point in time when we talk as we are speaking. And there's a surge in the remote and freelance roles. So it's not that the full-time jobs will be available. There will be jobs which are in the analytics space, those who can do work from home, and the free as a freelancer also. So just recapturing this slide in a little better way, in terms of, right, roughly around 1 lakh plus jobs presently available for data scientists. 61% positions are currently available to be filled within India. 33% is the rate India data science industry is growing. And by 26, India is going to become one of the top 3 markets for AI in data science. A data scientist normally earns double the salary of a regular job of a similar profile. Now, here I would like to introduce something called the Global Capability Centers that have started coming in India. The GCC, normally, the Global Capability Center or Center of Excellence, they are the offshore business models for most of the companies, right? So globally, there are around around 8,500 GCCs, and India is now claiming around 1,900 GCCs. That number is going to become roughly around 2,500, 2,400 GCCs in next 5 years' time. So what do the GCCs do? So GCC are the back office. Earlier we used to call them BPOs or not KPOs, but now GCCs have become more, innovation center. They are the innovation hubs for the globe. They come here in India, they research, they do the research, and say for example BMW in India. So they have an office in Germany. They used to have the R&D center in Germany. It is very much there, but now they have a team out here in India which is doing work on in terms of various telematics analytics. What speed we get the most fuel efficiency, or how should we build the front end, what kind, because most of the cars now today have the electronics embedded into it, and then you require data scientists to analyze that data. Going forward, you will have insurances based on your driving pattern. It has already started to occur. but at what speed you drive, what kind of precautions you're using, all will intermerge. And your insurance premium will be based on the way you drive. If you're driving more in a year, you may end up paying more premium. If you drive less, your driving is more less risky, you will have less premium to pay. So there are different models for GCCs, which is like wherein the company come from the scratch. They come here in India and then engage the IT services vendors. And then there are collaborative GSCs, wherein they follow the BOT model, which is the build, operate, and transfer, where an IT service partner like Wipro or IBM or um, Tata, TCS, they will develop their IT center for them and then hand over to them, and then they can keep building, working onto it. As I said, there's expected to this market is going from 1900 to 2400 GCCs, and each GCC roughly have around 10,000 employees, 8 to 10,000 employees working in it, and most of it, the role is in the data analytics. So they are building on to your customer experience platforms. They are doing the product innovation out there, and this market is already $178 billion, and this is going to grow at roughly around 13 to 14% CAGR. You have companies like City Financials, City Group, which is tiny GCCs, which have roughly around less than $10 million, going as high as Walmart and JP Morgan Stanley or Wells Fargo or American Express. Uh, you name the company, and they have an office in India now, and all doing all kind of analytics job. A little busy slide, but that will give you an insight that almost 37% of the GCs are investing in data intelligence tool, decision analytics. So one thing which is happening is in terms of cyber security enhancement, if you look here, and 70% investing into the Gen AI. And rest, obviously, the earlier ones, which are the process mining or decision intelligence tools, are very much there. On the right quadrant of the slide, if you see the AI, ML, and data analytics are roughly around 80% of the jobs. Sorry. And if you again look at the retention, and because the talent is very less available, you really need to have smart people, those who understand, and that is where they get the high salaries, is the data science and data intelligence. The more complex it is, the more difficult it is to hire people. Now the opportunities are changing, like as the environment is maturing, right? The earlier it used to be the IT professional is required, or human resource function, they have become, data management and analytics have become more mature now. But now the emerging functions are where you are practicing on the particular domain. So somebody is just an expert in the supply chain management, somebody an expert only in marketing. So it's like, earlier we used to have doctors, a normal MBBS, and then comes the efficiency, in terms of an eye specialist and an ear specialist. The in between a journey came and the ENT was there, right? But now it is then the nose specialist is different than a throat specialist, and an eye specialist is different than the nose specialist. Earlier they used to call it the ENT. Similar thing is happening in the analytics space also, where there is a specialization that is coming in. So the key capabilities, as I said, the business intelligence in terms of storytelling, in terms of the data visualization, how you're going to present your data, and the data engineering and statistical analysis. These are the key capabilities required. And if you look at the space, right, the software and technology, this pie you will see going to shrink over a period of time, and rest of the capabilities will give the healthcare, the BFSI, the retail CPG, the travel and logistics. These are gaining momentum. There are multiple companies, those who are into the there are companies which are into the pure play analytics, in they do only the analytics work, which is like Tiger Analytics, Fractal, Latent View. Then there are a traditional IT and analytics practice like Accenture, Capgemini, HCL Technologies, which are mix of both. And then there are companies like Big Four, Transsoc, kind of smaller boutique firm, which are the consulting and analytics, where we are helping organizations how to solve business problems using analytics. What are the job roles and related skill sets in the field of data science? So we have the data analyst, data engineer, machine learning engineer, data scientist. They all overlap in a way, but the data analyst is somebody who just collects the data, who interprets the data. He or she identifies the trend and patterns in the data, and then analyze the results and present it in a visualization format. Uh, the skill sets are more statistical tool, machine learning. But data engineer is who help in terms of stitch the data together. So somebody, the information is coming, something is coming in a structured format, something is in an unstructured format. His job is to interlink that data, run the ETL, which is extracting the data layer, and then process it. And they are normally the big data engineers you would have heard of, those who work on in terms of process. The information is coming, the velocity of the data is so fast, you need to keep changing the algorithms. And then comes the machine learning engineer. His job is to design and develop models of the available data. They run multiple algorithms. You need to have a strong understanding of data structure, machine learning, big data. So you need to have a combination of all. And then comes the data scientist, who is a combination of a data analyst, data engineer, machine learning. He needs to understand how my data is flowing, what is the veracity in data, what is the velocity of data, how I am going to, what is the end object, what is the business problem I am going to solve. And basis the similar approach, as the skill set required and the services required, the the salaries are ranging out there. So a fresher can easily earn 5 to 10 lakh rupees as you enter into this market. And as your experience grows, in next 4 to 5 years time, an average data scientist earns around 15 to 20 lakh rupees. And obviously it depends on multiple skill sets that we discussed before. You need to have a good presentation skills, you need to have a communication skills, you need to have a business insights, you need to have a storytelling ability. So all will play into this. So I just considering the paucity of time, I would like to take a break out here, and this presentation will be available uh, to you guys, and I leave it the next 10 minutes, 5 minutes open for the questions in case anybody is having.
Yes. Thank you so much, Mr. Manish Malik and Ms. Savleen Kaur. So Jasmeen Kaur is with us. Jasmeen is asking, what are the essential skills and qualifications needed to launch a successful career in data science?
Okay. So I'll tell you, with my experience with almost 25, 30 years I have spent in the industry. Earlier, it used to be that you need to be an engineer only. Today, you can be a domain expert, right? You might come from a commerce background and learn the analytics tools, and then come into a risk modeling, say, for example, or actuarial science, right? So today, analytics is used more into the banking and financial sector, BFSI sector. As I said, you need to have a strong understanding of statistics. You need to have an understanding of how the data is required to be processed. You need to have understanding of the different models and how to play with that data. And most key important is business solving ability. So what we are going to address. So if I'm saying the risk analytics, I'm going to give loan to 10 people. How do I ensure that the loan that I'm going to give is is going to the right person and he's not going to default? What is the probability of a default basis his risk profile? Where he or she lives? What kind of family dependency he has? What kind of salary income the person is having? So there are multiple factors. What kind of expenses he's having? What is the, when they ask for a last 2 years bank statement, what do they see into it? They see what is your percentage of saving you have in your account. So if you're earning 100 rupees, are you saving 20 rupees or not? So that if you have that habit, you will be able to pay your loan EMI. So these all factors will play into it. It's not about the education background, but now the domain expertise and the skill sets you acquire over a period of time.
Thank you so much. I hope Gurpreet you got your answer from our today's expert. So now Radhika is with us. Radhika is asking what are the typical career paths in data science and how can one progress from entry level roles to leadership positions? Very interesting.
Very nice question. So, when you start, you need to start from the basics, as I said, and you start with normally with as a business analyst, where you start with the data, understanding it, playing it. Then there are the two, three career options open. One is for the data engineer, data analyst, or data scientist. So if you take the data engineer is more on the back end role, where you inform the data is how the flow of the data will be monitored. So for example, if I'm creating a data warehouse, the data warehouse is a layer where multiple data from in silos will be available. So you have finance data, you have HR data, you have sales data, you have marketing information, you have production related information. So some person is required who is to stitch that data together. So production environment, there are sensors, there are you have your as basic as attendance information to camera feeds, they all are flowing into the data warehouse. So this data engineer's job is to ensure that the information that they are capturing is relevant, it is not redundant, it is not the same information is not get. So for example, two cameras are giving a similar feed. Is it important for me to capture both the cameras? If I can use the information from one camera, why do I need to capture that data? Because storage is available. I need to ensure that the speed of the data is available to the business users. So that is the data engineer's role. Then comes a data analyst whose job is to analyze that data. So business intelligence, business analyst more from the business side, where he is to provide the information or insights to the management that this decision is required. Basis this is a trend which is showing that we will not be able to meet our sales target, or this particular pocket is giving a better results on this particular product. So if I am mother dairy, I'll say that butter is working better in this area at this price point. So 500 grams packet is not doing well in a village area, but a 100-gram packet works well. But if in a metro market, people go for a half kg packet. So my distribution logistics will work basis that. In fact, that's a business analyst role. Data engineer's role is to analyze that information from the data perspective and give the large insight. They need to process more information and using Python, SQL, and then comes with the data marts, and then provide that concise information to the business users. And then come the data scientists. So their job is to answer the why, right? And that is where they charge a little premium over the rest of the roles. So if my Amul butter or a mother dairy's half kg butter is working in metros, question is why? Why it is working out there and why not in a remote area or a tier 2 or tier 3 town? And then you come merge the external data sets in terms of the ability of the people to pay out there. What is the demographic? What is the if you talk about villagers prefer more their own white butter than the processed butter, right? Their demand is different, and that's where they come out with a major algorithm. How do I penetrate in these areas, or which are the untapped markets? I hope I've been able to give some information, the answers related to that.
I hope
I just
Radhika.
want to add over here that as much as you practice, right, you will become expertise. We are doing the machine learning AI. We are passing a data and then we are converting the data to a knowledge or a expertise knowledge over there to get some results. So it will be helping you out as a beginner. You are starting with the data analyst or engineer, whatsoever the role you are going to join. With your expertise only, you will become the specialist, data scientist, or something like analyst. Without that, it's not possible, as we need a basic knowledge to clear everything. Once you will join LPU, we'll be try to help you out to go with each and every single thing.
Thank you so much, Miss Sableen Kaur and Mr. Manish Malik. So I hope all the participants got the answers from our today's experts. If anyone have any questions regarding the admissions, they just write on us at admissions@lpu.co.in, and you can do WhatsApp chat with us. Our WhatsApp number is 985256900. I'm repeating the number. It's 985269000. Thank you so much. Thanks to once again our today's expert, Mr. Manish Malik and Ms. Savleen Kaur. As we come to the end of this webinar, I want to express my deepest gratitude to our experts for sharing their valuable insights and expertise with us. Your presence, enthusiasm, and active participation have made this experience truly special. Hopefully, the attendees found this webinar to be valuable and will be able to utilize the information for better decision making regarding admissions. If anyone wants to access this webinar again, they can visit our website, that is lpu.in, or can be accessed on YouTube also. Stay connected with us for future webinars. Until we meet again, with the permission of my seniors, I would be signing off this webinar. Take care and goodbye. Have a beautiful day.
Thank you. Thank you for having us here.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.